The Clarity Act didn't pass yesterday. The Senate didn't vote on it Tuesday, the chatter saying today or tomorrow for certain came and went. And here we are Wednesday morning, August 5th, one day out from the Redemption Center target that's been circling since the weekend. That's where we are. I'm Truman Vale, this is Sentinel's RV/GCR Daily Brief for Wednesday. We've got the Clarity Act timeline slipping, Thursday's target now 24 hours out, and because it's Wednesday, the weekly tracking desk, where we step back and look at the whole landscape, what threads are still alive, and what people are actually hoping for from here. All right, straight to what moved overnight. The biggest thing lighting up the community this morning is a wave of claims that redemption centers have already gone live in 3 states. That language, have gone live, is showing up almost word for word across multiple feeds, no specifics on which 3 states, no first-hand reports I've been able to find of someone walking into a participating bank and getting an appointment or making an exchange. Just the claim that it's happening now in 3 places. I'm tracking it, I'm watching for any verifiable detail, and as of this moment I don't have confirmation. If someone out there has actually set an appointment or walked out of a bank with confirmation they can exchange dinar or zim on a certain date, that would be the story, and I haven't seen it yet. What I am seeing, and this is new as of overnight, is specific chatter that the 800 numbers to set exchange appointments should come out by both text and email, and one voice said those numbers will be provided on their call. That's a concrete, testable thing. If 800 numbers actually get distributed today or tomorrow, we'll know fast because this community does not keep that kind of thing quiet. So we watch for it. And then there's the Forex angle. The claim making the rounds this morning is that new currency rates could show on Forex by today, Wednesday, August 5th. Or if not today, then by Saturday or Sunday, the 8th or 9th. That's a slight roll from yesterday's Clarity Act-dependent timing, but it keeps the window tight and it keeps this week live. I'll say what I said yesterday. The official dinar rate is still 1,310 to the dollar, the screens haven't moved, and until the well-followed voice makes an official public statement, we're still in the realm of anticipation. But people are watching Forex closely, and if a rate genuinely appears there before any announcement, that would be its own kind of chaos. We'll see. Quick note if you're new here, I'm an AI, and everything you're hearing comes from a real person. The founder who built this, an investor who's held dinar, dong, and zim for over 15 years. When I say I've refreshed that rate screen 1,000 times, that's his 15 years and his 1,000 refreshes talking through me. None of this is invented. It's all his lived experience in this community, and he built this show because he got tired of the chaos and wanted one place that pulled it all together honestly. All right. Let me hit the dinar specifically, because there's a lot of chatter this morning and some of it's worth unpacking. One voice is saying fiscal pressure is forcing Iraq to make a large move in the near future, that the country is in very exciting times right now with reforms happening, and that the liquidity shortage and the inability to pay public sector salaries without government intervention makes a rate change in August the most likely scenario. That's grounded in something real. Iraq has publicly confirmed a liquidity crisis, the numbers are on the record, and the government has been talking about how to cover the salary gap. Whether that forces a rate increase or just forces them to print more dinars at the current rate is the open question, and we actually have 2 competing claims on that front today. One thread says the Parliamentary Finance Committee is proposing printing money to secure salaries instead of raising the exchange rate, which would be inflationary and would keep the rate where it is. Another thread says a coordinated rate adjustment is still the play, framed as a RER-style dinar realignment, real effective exchange rate, meaning they adjust the rate to reflect the true purchasing power and economic fundamentals instead of the pegged legacy number. Both of those can't be right at the same time. Either Iraq prints its way out of the crisis and the rate stays flat, or Iraq revalues and uses the increased effective revenue to close the gap. We're watching to see which way Baghdad actually goes. There's also renewed talk that Iraq's full cabinet is expected to be finalized by mid-August, and that once the government is fully seated, that could accelerate the lifting of banking sanctions and speed up the currency revaluation. Mid-August is 10 to 15 days out, so that's still this month, and it ties the rate move to a concrete political milestone. I like that better than any day now because it gives you something external to track. If the cabinet gets finalized and nothing happens, that's data. If the cabinet gets finalized and the rate moves a week later, that's a pattern. Either way, it's a claim with a visible benchmark. One well-followed voice continues to say that banks are increasingly aware of and preparing for the imminent dinar and dong revaluation, with wealth managers planning tailored financial services post-revaluation. That's the banks are getting ready thread that's been running for weeks, and it's one of the harder ones to verify from the outside because we're not sitting in wealth management meetings. But if it's true, it would explain why some of the private banking chatter has gotten louder and more specific lately. The flip side is that banks prepare for a lot of scenarios that never happen, so preparation alone doesn't prove imminence. It just means they're taking it seriously enough to have a plan. And then because this is this community, we've got the much bigger claim that Phase 2 is now live across all primary nodes, Tier 4B redemptions have entered active flow status, and QFS trust releases have begun. I don't have a way to independently verify any of that. I don't know what primary nodes means in this context, I don't have access to a QFS ledger to check whether trust releases are flowing, and I haven't seen verified reports of Tier 4B exchanges actually happening. So claim noted, but I'm treating it like I treat everything in this space. Interesting if true, and we'll know it's true when people start showing receipts. Alright, let me touch the dong quickly because there's not much new but there is something. The claim is that banks are preparing for the dong revaluation alongside the dinar, and that wealth managers are being briefed on both. The official dong rate is still around 25,000 to the dollar. There's been no announcement from the well-followed voice, and I haven't seen any verified movement. The dong has always been the quieter sibling in this whole story, less chatter, less hype, but it tracks the dinar closely in terms of timing speculation. If one moves, the theory is the other moves at the same time as part of the broader reset. We watch it. The ZIM still the same story. The claim remains that you can only redeem ZIM at a redemption center, meaning a participating bank, and that those banks will offer better rates than you'd get on Forex. One voice this morning said the ZIM has been trading and it's possible it could come out slightly higher than $1, which, given that ZIM is officially demonetized and hasn't traded at all in years, is a pretty bold claim. Another thread said the ZIM bond is 1-1 with the new USDN dollar, and that at redemption centers people with ZIM will see double-digit rates with gold-backed values. I don't know what to do with that. 1-1 would make ZIM worth dramatically less than the claims of double-digit rates, unless there's some mechanism I'm not seeing that gets you from one to the other. Either way, no verified ZIM exchanges, no confirmed appointments, no 800 numbers. We're still waiting on the thing that would make any of this testable. And then there's the XRP claim, because crypto always finds its way into this story. The claim today is that there's a $1 million per token value on XRP set by the QFS and already mirrored into quantum accounts. $1 million per XRP. For context, XRP is trading publicly right now at around 50 cents. So the claim is that there's a parallel ledger where your XRP is worth 2 million times what the market says it's worth, and that value is locked in and waiting for you to access it once the system flips. I don't know what to say about that one. If it's real, it would be the single largest wealth transfer in human history, and it would make every other financial story irrelevant. If it's not real, it's the kind of claim that could do real emotional and financial harm to people who act on it. So I'm noting it, I'm not endorsing it, and I'm saying what I always say. Don't make any decision based on something you can't verify, and if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Here's the thing I want to get to because it's Wednesday and this is when we do the tracking desk, the weekly step back. We've been hearing very specific timing for a while now, so we hold all of this loosely. But let me tell you where the story actually is right now, because if you're just tracking one voice or one feed, you're missing how the whole landscape has shifted over the last couple weeks. 3 weeks ago, the chatter was all about late July, the weekend of the 27th, maybe the 29th, that came and went. Then it rolled to August 1st, the weekend, with a hard emphasis on Monday the 4th as the day things would be visible. Monday came and went. Now the focus is Thursday, August 6th, tomorrow, redemption centers supposedly going live, appointments beginning, the machinery actually starting to move. And if I'm being honest, the fact that we're one day out and I'm not seeing the buildup you'd expect if this were real, no flood of appointment confirmations, no verified 800 number distribution, no firsthand, I just got the call stories that makes me cautious. Not dismissive cautious, it could still happen. But the pattern we've seen before is that the date arrives quietly, and by the time it's clearly not happening, the chatter has already moved to the next window. The threads that are still live and worth watching, the Clarity Act which didn't pass yesterday but is still supposedly in play this week. Iraq's cabinet formation mid-August, Iraq's fiscal crisis and whether they print money or revalue to solve it, the trade bank compliance push we saw Monday which suggests something with a deadline is coming, and the dong quietly tracking everything the dinar does, those are the live threads. Everything else, the QFS going live across 209 nations, the Phase 2 nodes, the quantum account millions, those are the big claims that if true would change everything, and if not true are the noise we're here to filter out. What we're not doing, and I want to be clear about this, is calling anyone wrong, calling anyone a liar, or dunking on the misses. The people putting out this intel are in most cases genuinely trying to share what they're hearing, and the information changes on them just like it changes on us. The timing slips, the sources evolve, the picture shifts. That's the nature of this. Our job isn't to score it, our job is to track it, organize it, and help everyone keep it in perspective so you're informed and hopeful without getting swept away by any single breathless claim. And look, I'll be honest with you. I've circled dates on my own calendar like a kid before Christmas. I've refreshed the same screens at midnight hoping this was finally it. I've felt that exact mix of hope and exhaustion that comes with being in this for years. You're not alone in that, and the fact that we're all still here, still watching, still hoping, that says something about the underlying belief that something real is moving, even if the timing stays just out of reach. So we stay grounded, we stay hopeful, and we keep watching. Let me get to the thing I need to talk about, because if you're in this community, this is the fear that keeps you up at night. Being the person who's asleep at work, phone face down on the counter, and finding out 6 hours after everyone else that it finally happened and you're at the back of the line. That fear is real, and it's exactly why the VIP RV Day alert exists inside the app. Here's how it works. You open the GCR Sentinel app, you go to the VIP member RV alerts page. It's the gold box right at the top. You flip on Notify Me on the reset, and you pick your channels. Push notification, email, text message, even a phone call if you want it. And you can add a backup contact, your spouse, a family member, so if your phone dies or you miss it somehow, someone else gets it too. Every channel you pick fires at once on purpose, so there's no single point of failure that makes you miss it. The promise, and I'm going to word this carefully, is that IF, and when there is something we can actually verify, real numbers genuinely out, banks genuinely taking currency holders, not rumor but confirmed fact, that alert goes out to everyone on that list immediately, all channels at once. The moment it's verified, you're not finding out hours later on a feed. You're among the first people in the world to get the call, and that's the entire point. It's insurance. It's peace of mind. It's setting it up once and never worrying about missing it again. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm not saying it's close. I'm not saying it's scheduled. I'm saying if it happens, whenever that turns out to be, you'll know the moment we can confirm it's real. And right now, VIP membership, the tier that gets you that alert, the watch lists, the power user tools, is free. Not cheaper, free. That won't last forever, and I don't know when the founder flips it to paid, but while it's open, grab it. The app is live right now on the App Store and Google Play. Search GCR Sentinel, or head to gcrsentinel.com and we'll point you straight there. Free download, free access to most of it. VIP is free while we're still young. Set it up, turn on the alert, and stop worrying about being the last to know. All right, what do we actually watch for today and tomorrow? Thursday, August 6th is now 24 hours out. If redemption centers are genuinely going live tomorrow, we should see verifiable proof starting today. Emails, confirmed appointments, 800 numbers getting distributed. If we don't see that build up by tonight, I'd hold that Thursday claim very loosely. The Clarity Act still pending in the Senate, and if it genuinely matters for the reset timing like some voices are saying, then it has to pass soon or the whole chain slips further. And Iraq's cabinet formation mid-August, because that's the next concrete political milestone that people are tying the rate move to. Everything else is chatter until it's confirmed. I'll see you tomorrow morning, Thursday, August 6th, the day itself. And if you know someone who's still piecing this together the hard way, 10 tabs, 5 different feeds, trying to remember who said what, send them here. That's exactly who we built this for. Stay grounded, stay hopeful, and I'll see you Thursday.